The first step to setting up your WooCommerce website is to buy hosting. You need a company that's going to host your website. Even though WooCommerce is free, you still have to pay a little bit of money to get your website hosted on a computer server. The second step is to set up the hosting. I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. The third step is to set up WooCommerce and make it so that you can accept payments on your website. And the fourth step is all the different advanced features, and I'm gonna go in depth in this video on how to set up your WooCommerce website. And we're gonna be setting up a very simple website here live in this video in record time. This is nothing complicated. This is something that's just super easy to do, and it'll work. It'll allow you to accept credit card payments for your product. Make sure to hit the like button because we're starting this tutorial now. The first step to setting up your WooCommerce website is to buy hosting, because even though it's free to set up a WooCommerce website, you need to pay a company to run your website and host your website on their servers. And the best company I've found to do that is actually Hostinger. It's also the most affordable. There's a link down below in the description that you can use. Plus, I have the hookup with Hostinger. I have a coupon code that'll get you an extra 10% off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click Get Started. And one thing that's really cool about Hostinger is they do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And at $2.99 a month, it's very affordable to set up your own WooCommerce website. They also give you a free SSL, which is what you need if you're gonna be doing a WooCommerce website. This makes it so your website's secure and you can accept credit card payments. They also give you a free domain name, which is your www. Whatever your .com domain name would be, and free email. And it's optimized for WordPress. And remember that WooCommerce is just a plugin for WordPress. I'll talk more about that later, but we're gonna select this plan, and then we're gonna choose a period of how long we want to commit to hosting our website. And I recommend here locking in your discounted rate for a full 48 months, because the thing to remember is after whatever time period you select, after that time period, it's going to cost more money. You're gonna have to pay the regular rate, and then you're gonna put in your payment information. And something that's cool is they actually do accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but for most people, you're gonna just use credit card or PayPal. You're gonna go down here and you're gonna use the coupon code Travis. Then fill in all your credit card information and click Submit Secure Payment. They'll then ask you to set up a new password. Go ahead and put in your password and click Confirm. The second step after you've bought your hosting is to start setting up your hosting. And they're gonna help you do it. Hostinger makes it very easy. We're gonna click Start Now. They'll ask you who you're creating a website for. In this case, it's myself, and what kind of website it's gonna be. So we're doing an online store since this is a WooCommerce store. Depending on what your experience level is, you can do whichever one you want. I'm gonna go ahead and put a beginner just so I can go through the process with you. You wanna choose WooCommerce with WordPress. WooCommerce is a plugin into WordPress. WordPress allows you to build a website. WooCommerce allows you to accept credit card payments, making it so that your website is now an online store. Next, you'll set up your WordPress account, put an email and a password here and click Continue. And now you're gonna select a theme for your WooCommerce website. We have a bunch of different options here, and you can actually preview what the different themes look like. The good thing is you can always change this later, so don't think that you're stuck with whatever theme you pick. And for now, I'm just gonna do the Simply Natural. We're gonna hit select, and we're gonna move on to the next step, which is setting up your domain name. And your domain name is your URL. It's whatever the .com or whatever you want. And because Hostinger comes with a free domain, we're gonna select Claim Our Free Domain. Now, if you already have an existing domain name that you've bought from GoDaddy or Namecheap or one of those other websites, you can use an existing domain name by selecting this, or you could always buy a domain name, but I don't know why you'd buy a domain name when you get a free one anyways. And we're gonna use the domain name ByRocketT. And I always recommend having a .com domain name. So we're gonna select .com right here. We're gonna search to see if it's available, and it is, so we're gonna click Continue. Now we're gonna click on Finish Setup. And just like that, we already have a website. We can view what the website looks like by going here, but obviously our WooCommerce website's not set up yet, so we're gonna have to start customizing our WooCommerce website and setting it up, and that's step 3. Now before we start customizing your WooCommerce website, we're gonna want to activate the SSL. We're gonna go ahead and click Activate right here. We're gonna click Install SSL. And this is something that Hostinger offers for free. You can also enable daily backups if you want to, but there is an extra charge for that. And this is not necessary, but it could be helpful. There's some other things that we'll talk about later here. Now we're gonna click on Edit Website, and we're gonna actually set up our WooCommerce website. And this is what the dashboard of your WooCommerce website / WordPress website looks like. And remember that this is a WordPress website with a plugin called WooCommerce, and WordPress allows you to create a website for free very easily, and WooCommerce is just a plugin to that system that allows you to accept payments to let people purchase things from your website. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this WooCommerce tab right here. And I'm gonna show you and explain this entire sidebar in just a few minutes. But first we have to set up WooCommerce. And so this is gonna be a quick and easy guide for setting up WooCommerce. First thing they'll ask is for your address, and go ahead and put in your address. It doesn't matter where it is, and then click continue. Then they'll ask you what industry does your store operate in. And for this website, we're gonna select food and drink and click continue. Now it's gonna ask you what types of products we're gonna be selling with our WooCommerce website. And again, we're selling physical products because we're actually selling a physical product that when someone buys, we're gonna ship to them in the mail. But WooCommerce also supports products that people could download, things like ebooks or music or any kind of electronic files, as well as subscriptions, memberships, bookings, bundles, and customizable products. So subscriptions would be something where they're gonna buy it and they're gonna rebuy it every single month. Memberships is similar, except for it allows you to have a membership model where people buy to be a member of your website, and then they can get extra features and extra access. WooCommerce also supports bookings. If maybe you sell your time by the hour and you're a consultant or something like that, and you want people to be able to book with you, for an extra fee, you can select this and it'll allow people to book on your calendar. WooCommerce also supports bundles. So if you're selling multiple different products and you want to allow customers to be able to bundle them together, for $4 a month, you can highlight this and be able to sell bundles. Also, you can have customizable products, and if you click on the little I for more information, this allows people to do gift wrapping or add special messages or other special options like that. Again, for an extra $4 a month, you can select that. Now, for our website, it's just physical products, so we're gonna click on continue. And then it'll ask how many products do we plan to display. For now, it's just 1 to 10, but in the future, it might change, and that's absolutely okay. And it's gonna ask if we're currently selling elsewhere. Right now, for this product, we're not selling anywhere else, and so I'm gonna select no. And then we're gonna click continue. Now it asks if we want to add some recommended business features to the website. If we click the down arrow and it says accept credit cards and other popular payment methods with WooCommerce payments, yes, we do wanna have that. Print shipping labels with WooCommerce shipping, yes, that's another good feature. Automated sales tax with WooCommerce tax, also good. Enhanced speed and security with Jetpack, also good. Now it's asking about level up your email marketing with MailPoet. I don't think that we need that. If that's something you want, we can always do it. And it also says drive sales with Google listing and ads. For now, I'm also gonna unclick that one because we're not gonna be running any ads to this website just yet. We're gonna go ahead and click continue. Now we're gonna choose a theme. We've already chose a theme earlier, but there's some other themes here that they have to offer. And you can look through these. You can do a live demo if you want, or you can look at some of the different paid themes. And the paid themes are obviously gonna be a little bit more professional. You can also look at some of the different free themes here. And for now, we're just gonna go ahead and skip this step because we already did this earlier. The next thing you're gonna do is click on Get Paid with WooCommerce, and this is gonna set it up so you can accept credit card payments via WooCommerce. You'll enter your email address here and click Continue. They'll then send you an email with a link and click on that link, and then it'll bring you to this page where, again, you can enter your email address here, click Continue. And if you've used Stripe before, you'll be able to just click on an account you've already used Stripe before for. If you've never used Stripe before, you're gonna have to sign up for a Stripe account and then you'll click continue. You're then gonna select your industry and it's gonna be under retail. And for us, we're gonna go ahead and put other merchandise and click continue. It's then gonna ask you to select a bank account where your payments are gonna go to. And I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna select my bank account. I use US Bank, and it's gonna ask you to connect to your US bank account so that it can establish a connection. Assuming everything went well, it'll be successful and you'll click done. And this is gonna allow you to start collecting payments and getting that money sent to your bank account. You'll then review all your details, and if everything looks good, you'll click submit. You can also set up additional payment providers. I recommend setting up PayPal, but it's not necessary. The next thing you'll wanna do is set up your tax rates, and WooCommerce tax is a simple, easy way to do it, and you can click on yes please and it'll help you with this process. You can also click to set up shipping rates, and the way you can set up shipping is completely up to you. If you want, you can do free shipping, which is generally what I recommend to everybody in the US, or if you wanted to, you could do flat rate shipping, let's say $2.95 if that's what you wanted to do. And then if you want to ship to the rest of the world, you can turn this on and you can put what the shipping cost would be for the rest of the world. I recommend doing flat rate also for the rest of the world. So let's go ahead and complete this task. And now that we've done all this, we actually have a website that if you go, you can actually buy things. But the problem is we haven't customized this website at all. So we have to finish setting it up by deleting all of the old products and adding some new products. So let me show you how to do that. You're gonna go under products here and all products, And the first thing we're gonna do is let's just delete all these products. We don't need any of these things. So we're gonna click move to trash and we're gonna click apply. So now there are no products, so we need to click add new product. And we're gonna add the product that we're selling, which is Rocket Tea. So we're gonna put a product name here and we're gonna call it Rocket Tea high, and then maybe dash high caffeine tea. We'll then also scroll down and we're gonna add a picture of what we're selling because that's very important. And we're gonna select a product image here. So we gotta upload a file, and I have the file on my hard drive. We're gonna select that file and we're gonna click open and upload it. Now, a pro tip for SEO purposes, which stands for search engine optimization, we wanna make sure we add an alt text and a title that has a keyword that people are searching for in Google. I'll explain that in more depth later in this video, but for now, just whatever thing that someone would go to Google to search for your product, make sure that that's in the alt text title and description. This is a basic explanation of how to get your products and your website ranked to the top of Google, but again, I'll talk more about that later. So we're gonna click set product image. The next thing we need to do is set a price. So the price of this product is gonna be at $27.99, but we're gonna say that the regular price is $34.99. That way it seems like it's discounted. We're also gonna add a description right here, and we're gonna say something like, with over 200 milligrams of caffeine per serving, this is the highest caffeine tea in the world. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to preview what this looks like. And we can see here, we have a product. It has an add to cart button. You can even buy with Google Pay. It's ready to go. It even has a basic description. Now, this isn't the best product out there. We could add a lot of things. We could add more description, more images, all kinds of things in there. And I'll show you how to do that later in this video in more depth. But the goal is just to get a working website as fast as possible. So now that we have this set, and it actually is a functional website, let's go to the home screen and let's start customizing all of this. And the easiest way to do that is click on this customize button up here. I'll explain this entire menu. You can customize every single thing about your website because it is a WordPress site. That means that it's your website. You have full control and you can customize it however you want. So the first thing is, if you click on typography, you can change all the fonts all over the website, including the header fonts, body fonts, anything you want to customize, you can. And I won't go into depth about this right now, but just know that you can change things. You can also change color. So maybe, for instance, you want to change the theme color here. Instead, let's make it, I don't know, that color. You can see that the button actually changes. You can also change link colors, the link hover color. You can change the heading color. Basically everything here, the site background and the content background as well. If you want to change, you could change. You can also change the containers. So you can look at the different widths, which will change the width of different containers within the website. We're not gonna, you see as I change this, it changes the look and the feel of the website. This is a more advanced thing, so we're not gonna go into detail. All these things are a little bit more advanced. I'm just gonna reset this so we don't mess anything up. Let's go back here to the buttons. If you wanna change the way the buttons look, you can do it in here, or text color, the border width, border radius, whatever you wanna change. Like I said, it's very customizable. There's also a block editor, which again is a more advanced feature, but just again letting you know that you can customize everything that you want. But something we are going to change is the header builder. And this is the header up here, and we're gonna wanna completely customize it. So first thing, site title and logo. So this is the current logo. Let's change that. So I'm gonna click change logo, and I'm gonna upload a new logo. We have this logo right here that we're gonna use for the time being. And again, we're gonna change the alt text and the title and even add a description saying high caffeine tea, because we really want Google to rank this website for high caffeine tea. Now in the future, what we'll do is we'll probably replace this logo with something that's a little bit longer and get rid of this by Rocket Tea. So for the time being, I'm just gonna get rid of that by Rocket Tea. We don't need that. We got the logo right there. That's enough. You can also, if you want, change the logo width, which we're not going to do. Let's keep it at the original 50 because I think that's a good size. Now we'll go back, and you can see here the way the header's set up is the site title and logo is right here. There's also the cart, which we can customize, which is over here, and the primary menu. So the cart is something that I think this is good. We're gonna display the cart total and display the cart title as well. We can change the design if we want to. You can mess with that. I think it's fine for the time being. But let's go in and let's look at the primary menu. So this right here is the primary menu. And if we wanted to, we could click configure menu from here. We can change up how this looks. So the primary menu is, as I mentioned, the main menu, and we can adjust some of the different elements of the menu here. And if we click configure menu from here, we can change what this primary menu is. I'll explain how to change this up later in this video. The next thing on the customize option is the breadcrumb. And we have header position none. We don't want the breadcrumb. The breadcrumb is basically, it lets you know like how deep in the website you're going, and it shows you, hey, you were on this page, then this page, then this page. We're gonna select none. I think that's the best option there. Under blog, we can change up some of the features here, whether or not we have the blog or archive, like what the different categories look like. Do we want comments on? Do we want the category? Do we want the author? Do we want the publish date? We can turn the publish date on and off. Same thing with any tags. If, however, we go to single post, we can also change it. We can add on or off the publish date. We can change up all this different stuff here. Next up is the sidebar, and if we click on that, right now there's no sidebar. But if we wanted to, we can enable, let's say, a right sidebar, which would add all this over on the right-hand side. And sometimes this is chosen if they have a WordPress website and they're doing lots of blogs. You can see recent posts and things like that, or you could put it on the left side. But if you're doing a WooCommerce website, I recommend having no sidebar. You don't want anything distracting people from buying your products. So we're gonna go back, we're not gonna have a sidebar. There's also the footer builder, which is down here. And this allows us to build out the footer. We have different widgets here. We have 4 different widgets here. One of them is the social, we have widget 1 and 2, and we also have widget 3 and 4. And you can change these out and you can make these be different things. You could have site links, you could do all kinds of different things. For now, just to make this really simple, I'm just gonna put in here rocket tea, the highest caffeine tea in the world. Very simple. You can also go in here and click on the edit button and you can edit all your different links. We'll click here. You'll put the URL of your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you have, you can put all those here. I believe you could probably even change them out and add a social icon here and change the name of it, change it to be whatever you would like it to be. Right here's a list of all the most common ones, phone numbers and other things like that. Let's go back and let's go ahead and delete this one because we don't have a Behance. I don't know what that even is. And if we wanted to here, we could also delete these widgets for the time being. We can always add new ones in there. We also have the copyright and the powered by WordPress. Let's go ahead and remove that element. We don't want people to know that it's powered by WordPress. There's no reason to give WordPress free advertising here. Under performance, if we want, we can load Google Fonts locally. I usually just leave it unchecked, but if you want to have it checked, I think that's fine as well. We can also go in here and we can customize all the WooCommerce stuff. So there's a store notice right up here, and it says, this is a demo store for testing purposes. No orders shall be fulfilled. We're gonna wanna get rid of that. But I mean, it's not being shown right now anyways because we don't have enable store notice. That is something to keep in mind though. Under product catalog, we can show page display, show the products. We can show categories, or we can show categories and products. Now, one thing I realized is there's no products being displayed, and it's because we never actually published our products. We got to make sure we publish everything. So now that we publish that, we should be able to go back here and let's see if we refresh this, what shows up. And you can see now that our products are showing up. So I recommend just clicking show products for all of these. And you can also change the shop columns. If you have multiple products, you can change the columns to show 3 columns or 4 columns, and that'll show different grid amounts over here. There's also other things down here that you can customize. Under single product, you can choose to disable the breadcrumb, which is what I do. And let me show you what that looks like. You can see the breadcrumb is up here. It says home, uncategorized, rocket tea. That's not helping anyone. That's not making people decide to buy the product. So we're gonna go ahead and disable that breadcrumb, and it gets rid of it up here. It just looks a lot cleaner. We can also change the main image width and the thumbnail width right here. 600 is a good width, so I think we'll just leave everything as it is. Don't wanna change anything. We can also optimize the cart. We can enable cross sales. Now we're only selling one product, so this doesn't really matter, but I'll go ahead and keep it enabled. And under checkout, we can make some changes to make the whole process a little bit smoother. For instance, making the company name field, we can hide it. If we don't think that a lot of people that have companies are gonna be purchasing, then we can go ahead and hide that. We can change the phone field if we wanna have it required or optional. We can change the privacy policy page. Now, one thing that's very important, the terms and condition page is not set currently. And I'm gonna show you how to create a page in WooCommerce in just a minute, and then we're gonna set the terms and condition page properly. Now we're gonna continue to customize this website. We're gonna go under appearance and we're gonna look at all these different things. So we've already talked about themes, but if at any point you wanna customize your theme or change your theme, you can come in here and you can change it up. You can also click on the Customize tab here, and it'll bring you to the page that we had earlier, and you can start customizing and changing all of this. The next option is to click on widgets, and widgets are basically little items on your website that you can change and customize. And there's a little introduction here that you can go through and learn a little bit more about blocks and how to customize them. This is something that's maybe a little bit more advanced, not something that we're gonna go into a lot of detail about here. The next thing that I promised we would talk about is menus. And this will look familiar. This is the main menu that is on the home screen. It's this menu up here at the top. You can see under store, we have plants and cactuses. And this, we're not gonna sell plants and cactuses. We're gonna be selling tea. So let's go ahead and customize that. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this and we're gonna go ahead and click remove, click on this and click remove. And instead of store, we're gonna change that just to say, Buy Rocket Tea. And we'll click save the menu and let's go and let's see what happens. So you can see home, Buy Rocket Tea, about us, contact us, my account. In fact, I think we could even get rid of home because if anyone wants to go to the home, they can just click on the icon in the upper left-hand corner. So again, we're gonna save this menu and let's refresh this, see what it looks like. Boom, that's nice. But what happens if we click on Buy Rocket Tea? Well, it takes us to this page here. Now, what would be even better is if it took us to this product page here instead. That way it takes less work for people to actually buy the product. And to do that, we're gonna have to go in here and we're gonna click remove and we're gonna click custom links. We're gonna put the URL of the product, and that's the URL right here of the actual product page. And we're gonna change this to say Buy Rocket Tea. We're gonna click add to menu and we'll move that back up to the top. We're gonna save this menu and let's go back to our website to see how it looks. And if we click on Buy Rocket Tea, now it takes us directly to the product page. And you can update this and customize this menu. And if you wanted to, you could always create other menus as well by clicking create a new menu. And there's times where it makes sense to have a menu, but generally speaking, this is the only menu that you're gonna use. One other thing you're gonna need to do is configure your Stripe account if you want to accept payments. So we're gonna click connect with Stripe. And if you already have a Stripe account, you're gonna go ahead and enter the email. And if you don't, you'll still put in an email and you'll start a new Stripe account. You'll then click to enable gateways. I only really recommend using the Stripe card processing and click enable gateways. If you want, you can also enable express checkout. We're gonna go ahead and skip that for now. Then you're gonna select a mode. If you wanna keep your website from just being in test, you can select test, or we can select live if you're ready to start accepting payments right now. We'll click save and continue. And now you're ready to start accepting payments. The next tab that we're gonna talk about is additional CSS. And CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And that is a more advanced topic. It allows you to completely customize your website and add features to it. And to get there, we gotta click on Continue to Jetpack. And we have to go through some of these things, but we're not gonna be adding any custom CSS for now. So we're gonna go ahead and forget about that. Let's go back down to appearance. And there's some other things here, including a starter template, a pop-up builder, and that's like an email pop-up, and Astra options. But the last thing that I want to point out is this theme file editor. And you can completely customize your entire WooCommerce website. Now, this is only for people that are a little bit more advanced, that maybe understand HTML, PHP, maybe even some CSS. And so here is the style sheet, the CSS style sheet for the entire website. You can go in here and you can customize anything and everything, but do not mess around in here unless you know what you're doing. Next thing I'm going to show you here is how to set up plugins. But before we do, let's go ahead and get rid of some of these things up here because they keep getting in the way and they're distracting. We're just going to do that for now. And this is a list of all the plugins that are installed on WordPress. And remember that WordPress is a content management system. It's a way for you to easily build a website. And you can add plugins that'll give added functionality to your WordPress website. And this came preloaded with about 18 different plugins. You can see that WooCommerce right here is just one plugin for WordPress. And if we wanted to, we can deactivate. So let's go ahead and we can deactivate some of these. And I'm gonna see which one would be a good one to deactivate. You can see one plugin here is Hello Dolly. This is just like a fun plugin that the creators of WordPress put in here just to show you like how this works. And if you activate it at the top here, it has like a little quote. And let's go ahead and go back down. Let's deactivate that. We can even delete plugins if it's something that you never think you're going to use. I'll go ahead and delete this thing. Push OK. Another one that we might want to deactivate is Opt-in Monster. And Opt-in Monster, I'm sure there's some really good reasons to have it, but I'm going to go ahead and deactivate it. I don't plan on using it for this website. But something else that you can do is anytime there's a functionality that you want to add to your website, there's thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of plugins, and you can look and you can add a new plugin. So for instance, one thing that I want to do is when people click on add to cart, instead of adding it to their cart, I want it to take them directly to the checkout. So we're going to go ahead, go here, and we're going to type in direct checkout and see what comes up. And we can see that there's one that's called direct checkout for WooCommerce. Let's go ahead and install it and let's see if this will work for us. You're going to want to make sure you click activate so that it's activated and it actually starts working. Now let's go to buyrockettee.com and we're going to go to buyrockettee and we're going to click add to cart. But now, instead of it adding to cart, it takes us directly to the checkout page, which will make it easier for people to buy. Now again, you can customize all this. If you wanted to get rid of this coupon part, if you wanted to get rid of this, you could get rid of all this very easily. Now that we understand plugins, the next thing we want to understand is pages. And you can see that there's a list of all the different pages. There's the About Us page, the cart page, the checkout page, and we can customize all these. So let me show you how to customize one of these. So let's go to the About Us page. We're going to click Edit here, and we're going to change this up. So one of the first things, instead of having this background, let's go ahead and get rid of that. And in fact, let's get rid of this entire section here by coming down here and clicking Remove Cover. So now it just says About Us, and it has a little bit of information. So I'm just going to put info here, and then put more info over here. We can also click on read more, our company. We're going to put some info here, basically, and then we can change out this image to whatever we want by clicking the replace button. You can even scroll down here, and it says our team, and we can update all the photos here. So one thing you could do is if you wanted to, you could click on this, and you could click replace, and you could upload a new photo. So I have a new photo right here. We'll go ahead and open that. And you can see we have a new photo right here. We could change it, the name to founder, the name up here to the founder's name. And I partnered with Willem on this product. If we wanted to, we could even update all the different social media down here. And we could go through and we could replace this if I wanted to put my image in there. But I think we're going to have Willem be the face of this brand. So we could just go through and we could delete all these different sections, which we'll do later. And then we scroll down here, and if we wanted to, we could replace the background here. In fact, what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of this entire section. I don't think we need this here. So this is what it looks like now. We're going to put some info here. We got to fill all this out later, and we'll probably go through and we'll probably delete some of this stuff as well. But you can see we have the page title down here, and this is specifically going to be for SEO purposes. And we could go into so much depth about that. And that's something that maybe I'll do an advanced WooCommerce video about. If you want that type of a video, click the like button down below. You can also see on all kinds of different things that we can customize here, how it shows up on social media, the Facebook preview, what that would look like, the schema, the link assistant here as well, redirects and some advanced features. And this is all stuff that is maybe saved better for a more advanced WooCommerce video. But now that we know how to edit an existing page, what we can also do is we could always add a new page. And you might want to add a new page for any number of different reasons. Maybe you have your refund policy, maybe you have a specific page with frequently asked questions. But one thing that I promised that we would talk about is terms and conditions. And you can just type in the title up there, and we can start typing for a new block right here. And here we could put all of our terms and conditions. And you can find stuff like this on the internet. We're going to go ahead and click publish. Click publish again. And why this is important is we're going to go over here. We're going to go to appearance, and we're going to go to customize. And remember earlier, I told you that we want to go into here and then into the checkout, and we can select the terms and conditions page. If we go in here, look, now there's a terms and condition page. Obviously, it's not fully filled out, but we have something at least temporarily for now. So we're going to go ahead and click publish. Another page that we're going to want to customize is the home page, the front page. So let's go ahead and click edit here. And you can see that this is what the home page looks like. First thing we're going to do, let's get rid of this image, and we could always replace it with another image. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and click clear media. And let's change this to say buy Rocket Tea. And we can get rid of this heading right here as well. And we can scroll down and we can start playing with this. And so one of the things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete all of these. We don't need this anymore. We can delete this entire section actually. And all I'm doing is clicking on it and clicking delete. Here, some testimonials. We can replace this text here, and we can replace this text, and we can replace this text. We can change out the images with real customers that we have and change out the names to real customers. And we can put some more information here about that. I'm also going to go ahead and click here to delete this media. If we wanted to add some media, we could. And we can change this to say interested buy high caffeine tea today. Let's go ahead and change this up. And this is just a bunch of nonsense. Fill in text here. We'll change that up eventually as well. And then we can go down below and we can update this and optimize it for SEO purposes, which is something that we're not going to really go over just yet. But let's go ahead and let's click update. Now we still have some other things that we want to optimize. Instead of saying plants collection, we could say tea collection and start showing some tea. And I guess we could say that that's a tea leaf there. And then instead of featured plants, it could be featured tea. And again, we'll go ahead and click update. Another feature of WordPress and WooCommerce is posts. And since originally WordPress was meant to be kind of a blog posting website where you'd have different posts maybe every week, if instead of doing pages, which pages are a little bit more static and they're kind of meant to be there forever, you could add new posts. And so if you do want to have a blog for your WooCommerce website, all you have to do is click add new post, and it's very similar to adding a new page. Another thing I want to mention is if you're going to be doing blog posting, there are going to be comments. And you can click here to view all your different comments, moderate them. Anytime you want to, you can go up here and you can approve, unapprove, or move the comment to trash. That's something that you're going to want to watch out for if you're doing blog posts. And speaking of comments, do me a favor and leave a comment for this video. But now I want to show you some more advanced features of WooCommerce. So if we click on WooCommerce here, we can click on the orders. Now we don't have any orders right now, but as we start to have orders, we can come in here and we're going to be able to see all the orders and we can start to fulfill them. There's also subscriptions. If you want to offer a subscription for your product, you can click on that button and you can see all the different active subscriptions that you have. We also added this feature of direct checkout. And if you click on that, you're able to change some of the settings for direct checkout. And you're going to want to make sure that added to cart redirect is on yes, and added to cart redirect goes to the checkout. You can have it go to a custom URL or the web cart. Some other things that you're going to look at are customers. As you start to get more WooCommerce customers, you can come in here and you're going to see all those customers, as well as if you ever want to create coupons for WooCommerce, you click on this, click add a coupon, and you can customize and optimize that as well. Another feature of WooCommerce is the reports. Now, since we don't have any data here, there's not going to be much to show, but you can come in here and you can start looking at how much in sales you've received for your WooCommerce website, as well as there's customers and stock and taxes and shipping labels, and you can look at reports under all those different things. Now, one of the most important things that you're going to want to look at is the settings. You can change all these different settings. You can change the address that you have associated with your store. You can change how your products show up, what the shop page looks like, the add to cart behavior. You can even click on redirect to the cart page after successful addition. And that would only work if you don't have the direct cart plugin that we talked about earlier. You can change the weight unit. Right now it's set to kilogram. We might want to change that to pounds because we're here in the United States, and for whatever reason in the United States we still use the pound system. You can also click on the tax button up here and change how we do taxes. Right now it enables automated taxes, but the truth is you only really want to charge taxes in the state if people are buying from the state that you are located in. There's also a bunch of other features in here that you can optimize and change. We have the shipping options, which we talked about earlier. And right now we have flat rate shipping both to the United States and internationally. If we wanted to change that, we could come in here and we can even add specific shipping zones. Maybe Canada is a little bit cheaper than the rest of the world, and then the rest of the world would be, more expensive. Under payments, we have it already set up for WooCommerce payments. If I wanted to, I could enable test mode so that would make it so the store is no longer active. There's also accounts and privacy, and this allows a guest checkout. There's a bunch of other features in here, the privacy policy, and you can see all that information right here. And there's emails, integration, advanced, multi-currency subscriptions, and direct checkout. So at this point, we have a functional website that actually works, that you can go to and you can actually buy things from. Now, it's not the prettiest of websites, but it works, and that's all that really matters in this quick guide. If you want me to do a more detailed guide, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're looking for hosting for your WooCommerce website, check out Hostinger. I have the hookup. Use coupon code Travis to get an extra 10% off. They're already ridiculously low prices. Again, there's a link here if you want more information on Hostinger.